Well, Rob, joining us now, head football coach Joey Jones from South Al. We were just talking off the air with him and telling him how familiar we were with Mobile, Alabama, and how we knew exactly how to get to the practice. Yeah, on campus and find their practice field. Yeah, not so much. That didn't happen very well for us
we
when we were
campus.
down there. But yeah, we did find that on the way back as well. But anyway, Coach, well, welcome to the Sun Belt in regards to football. You know, it's a little different for you. Of course, we just had Coach Pelini on, and he was coming in from Nebraska to a team that finished the year 1-11. But for you guys, you're making the step now into Division I. Talk about maybe some of the hurdles that you'll face in making that jump.
Well, a lot of the hurdles will be on those teams we're playing against, probably. You know, the thing is, you look at Sun Belt and how many good teams are there. You know, Troy's always been there every year. Last year they had a little off year, but the bottom line is they're kind of the king of the conference. Arkansas State had a great year last year, doing very well. Lafayette jumped up there and had a great year, beat San Diego State bowl game. You know, Middle's always in it. You know, FAU's been dominant before, so they all have the possibilities of being great. And so I think it's a great conference. I think when you look at us, the biggest hurdle we'll have is that we haven't been recruiting for Division I until this year. Now, we've got some Division I players, and we've got some players that no doubt are good players, but what we've got to do is get more of them. And as we get into the conference, we know these other guys have been recruiting Division I players for a long time. And so I think catching up depth-wise is going to be the issue.
Let's find out a little bit about Joey Jones, a 4-year wide receiver at the University of Alabama. Quattro's going to be happy on that. Earned all Southeast Conference honors in 1983. Named to Alabama's all-decade team for the 1980s, was the head coach at Birmingham Southern from 2006 to 2007. You are very familiar with building programs from scratch, aren't you?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, but bottom line is it's a tough business when you put one together from scratch, but also it's satisfying, as you can imagine. Just build something from nothing. I remember my office was on the steps for about a few days. I had nowhere to go. And I had a cell phone and a notepad and sat on the steps. But anyway, to go from there to where we are now is really exciting. And to bring University of South Alabama, who's been very competitive in other sports. Our baseball program's been good over the years, and basketball has done very well.
Sure.
So for us to come in and have a chance to compete in football, our kids are looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, you've got 15 starters returning. Talk maybe a little bit about some of the individuals on both sides of the ball that you're going to rely on this year.
Yeah, a couple guys on defense. Start with Jake Johnson. He transferred in from Virginia Tech at linebacker. He's going to play in the NFL. He's 6'1", about 245 right now. Real good sideline guy. He'll hit you when he gets there. We feel great about him. B.J. Scott transferred from Alabama at safety, and he's a Mobile product and grew up there right near the school. And a very good player. Ramel Jones on the defensive front, probably our best defensive lineman. This will be his 4th year to start. A lot of our guys come in, all the freshmen had to start because we were so young. So a lot of these guys, at least they got a lot of playing experience. So,
right.
On offense, I would say, Melvin Meggs, big lineman for us. He's a 3rd-year starter. Doing very well. He's about 315 pounds and 6'3", 315. Real good player. And then probably another one on offense, probably finish up with our 2 tight ends, I think, that really haven't started yet. But one transferred into junior college, and one that just we moved wide receiver to tight end. They both look great right now. We don't have them on the field. That's Greg Hollinger and Wes Saxton. Those guys are, we feel they're 6'4", 245 each, and can run and catch, and so we feel good about those guys as well.
Coach, you're coming off a 6-4 season. You played a lot of different teams. You played North Carolina State, only 35-13 loss, but you competed against the ACC team. Talk about the trials and the tribulations of playing in the Sun Belt your first year.
I think the toughest thing we're going to encounter is another hurdle that I didn't mention, but it's playing week to week to week against Division I schools.
Right.
That's going to be the issue that we haven't encountered yet. We play some tough teams on it. The bottom line is, when you go play Troy, and when you look at our schedule, we got NC State, Mississippi State, Troy, and Arkansas State all on the road. And that's amen corner, just like the Masters right there, in my opinion. So, and that's early in the season for us too. That's games 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so we'll start off with a bang. But it toughens you kids when you play like that. We played NC State last year, and it was 28-13 late. And we had a couple opportunities but to have chances to be in the game. We didn't. But I was proud of the way the kids competed.
Sure.
That was our 20th game of our program, and we went out there and played pretty well. But we'll learn as we go.
I got to give you a warning for your Mississippi State game. I covered Ole Miss for 3 years. Bring some earplugs for the Cowbells, because you will hear. I had a headache for probably about 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
After the Cowbells.
Oh yeah, I've been to a couple games there.
Wow.
But it's loud, and they got some big football players too.
Coach, let me ask you, obviously playing at Alabama, is there anything maybe from your playing career that you use in your everyday coaching career?
I learned a lot from Coach Bryant, and I played for him. And obviously, I'm not. I take little small pieces of what.
Sure.
You got to be your own man. But one of the biggest things I learned is he makes kids earn what they get. And I think that sometimes we put guys on the pedestal too fast, and I want them to be the prima donnas and get out there and play and start, pat them on the butt all the time. And we're gonna pat people on the butt. Bottom line, we're gonna make sure they earn what they get. And he taught me that. He always talked about earning your stripes.
Sure.
And so if you earn your stripes, I think you've got a much better player down the road if you start him off tough, work him hard, and he's got to earn what he gets.
You open Sun Belt play at home against Troy. Is that going to be a in-state rivalry before it's all said and done with Troy?
I would think so. We're so close together, about 3 hours apart in the same state, obviously, recruiting against each other. And I tell you what, Larry Blakeney's done a heck of a job there. I mean, if you look around the country at pros have gone, because they went from 1AA to Division I, they certainly made that transition very well. They've obviously been probably the top program in the Sun Belt for the last 6 or 7 years and won it probably 5 times. And so they've done a heck of a job, and they're really a model for us. If we can get to where Troy is, we feel like that's really doing something.
Did you get a chance to see Arkansas State play in the GoDaddy.com Bowl in your city?
Oh, I did. I watched them practice a couple days and actually watched the game. Sure did. They're a very talented group.
You open up on the road October 13th at Arkansas State. Talk a little bit about the Carl Pellinis, the Gus Malzahn's, the type of quality head coaches in this league.
Oh, that's tremendous, And you look around those guys that have been around a long time and coached at Auburn, been at Nebraska, been different places, and so there's no doubt that the coaching is great.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, obviously you've got a busy day yourself. Talk a little bit about some of the facilities and some of the things going on at South Al. We got to see a lot of those firsthand while we were there for the bowl game. Talk a little bit about what you guys have going on.
Yeah, we built a $12 million football facility that, of course, has locker rooms and weight rooms and meeting rooms and all the things that field houses have. We feel really good about that. I think in recruiting, it's been, for us being a new program, have we built something small or something wasn't very nice, I think we wouldn't have near the players we've got right now, because facilities are the number one thing in recruiting nowadays.
Are you planning on building on-campus stadium?
We are. We've talked about it. It's not anything etched in stone yet, but certainly those talks are coming up all the time.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here this morning on our special edition of the Morning Brew Crew and A-State Nation Radio. Best of luck, and we'll see you in Jonesboro on October 13th.
Okay, you guys be nice to us now.
Will do. Thanks, Coach.
Take care.
Now you hear it there.
Sun Belt Media Days, man, getting all kinds of coaches.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. Absolutely. I tell you what, not often you talk to a 4-year letterman from University of Alabama, and that is head coach Joey Jones.
And on the all-decade team at the University of Alabama. So definitely made his mark there for the Crimson Tide.
More from Sun Belt Media Days coming up.